Good evening, Eamon here from Ashdown Farm. In the last couple of days, last Saturday evening at 11:40 precisely, my father-in-law, my wife's father, passed away. He was in his 95th year. He would be 95 in October. He had a very long, healthy life, except for the last maybe few months. And he died in his own house with his 6 children and some of his grandchildren and sons and daughter-in-laws there with him. A very nice death, if there's such a thing. He that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to die in his own house and with his family around him, and that's exactly what happened. And may his soul rest in peace. Over, I suppose, that since that and during the time I stayed up with him, myself and another son-in-law that night, all night when the girls went and tried to get some sleep because they had been up a few nights before that when he was unwell. So we said we'd stay up, and I suppose thinking of that night and thinking of your own life and thinking of his life and the things that he has done, and he was lying there in bed, and I put myself there. Would I have regrets, or what would I like for people to say about me? And as well, the day of the funeral, he was a very strong Catholic, and the priest, Father Smith, celebrated Mass and officiated at the funeral. And the usual traditional funeral, the priest gets up and says a few words with some guidance of the family and gets a bit of history about him and all the rest. And again, the thought came through my mind, being what the priest said, and thinking of him lying there in bed the night I sit up with him. What would I like people to remember me for? What would I like the priest or whoever it's going to be to say about me when the time comes? Of what would you like people to say about you, or do you really care? Of what legacy do you want to leave this world? And I know I have done a lot and I have farm and all the rest, but I suppose the further legacy I'd like to leave is able to help some people through maybe difficult times. And particularly I consider people retirement a difficult time. And this is why I'm involved in the retirement program of looking at what we can do to help people transition from a full-time job to being retired and seeing what they can do with the rest of their lives. And I believe, we spoke how important health is and how important keeping fit is and all the rest, so that you can have a long and active retirement. It's also very important that you have activities to do, that you feel valued. And that's what I certainly would like myself, is people look back and say, look at Eamon, he lived a full life. He didn't waste any time. He didn't spend his days looking at, silly soaps on the television or whatever. I'm not condemning the soaps. People make livings of it and makes good living out of it acting. But, you can spend too long sitting in front of TV and looking at dating TV than instead of doing stuff that will benefit you, doing things that will benefit you, such as getting involved in your local community, get involved in charity organisations, even making a bit of money for yourself. Go on YouTube and put up videos. Make contributions that people will have a better quality of life. And this is what I want to do, is to make sure, and this is why I'm asking you to subscribe to my video and to buy into my training, got to do with retirement, that you will have a better quality life. And that when the time comes, or my time comes, that I can go in peace and happiness. And that I say, I fought a good fight. I ploughed the furrow. I walked the road. I wasn't afraid for challenges. I took them on. That's what I want people to say about me. I want to say that I helped people, that I stretched out my arm and my hand and gave people a little lift up. That would be the biggest contribution I can make to this society, that I helped other people, that I served. And by you getting involved with me on my on the training program on retirement, I believe we could work together, and that everybody would have a much quality retirement, because retirement is very much part of living. It's like living, it's like dying, it's like working and retirement. They go hand in hand. And speaking to another guy the other day, a plumber and a politician, and he said, "Oh, I can't retire. I can't retire. I get bored." No. You shouldn't have to work every day of your life just to feel fulfilled. There's loads of other things you can do. Enjoyment and serving other people at the same time. So look at retirement as a broaden of your education, broaden of your views, and broaden of the way you think and the way you look at society. Because it's so important that we make a contribution, and that we're on this earth to serve, not to be served. Remember that. We have to serve, not to be served. And that's what I want people to say about me when the final day comes. Thank you very much for listening, and have a really active retirement. Thank you.